You scroll through your feed, another vacation photo, another perfectly styled latte. And just like that, a tiny pinch of something creeps in when you comparison. Maybe it's subtle, maybe it's sharp, but somehow someone else's life feels bigger, brighter, more together than yours. And don't pretend you don't do it too. Maybe it's you, maybe someone you know.
Either way, there's a quiet psychology behind why we secretly measure ourselves
Against strangers online, and it's more revealing than you think. Let's start with the first type, the mirror watcher. This is the person who checks social media not for fun, but almost like a ritual. You open Instagram, scroll past the memes, past the cat videos, and suddenly you're looking at a stranger's home office, their morning routine, the way they laugh in a photo. And there it is, the reflection you didn't realize you were seeking. Mirror watchers compare themselves to strangers because they're constantly measuring, subconsciously asking, am I doing life the right way? It's not envy in the loud, dramatic sense. It's a quiet metric, a mental scorecard, and it's addictive because each scroll promises a new data point. You might catch yourself thinking, oh, I should meditate in the morning too. Maybe eat that green smoothie. And just like that, comparison slips into your day. Then there's the highlight hunter. This one is tricky because it's not about measuring success as much as chasing inspiration. You see a stranger with a weekend getaway, perfectly captured on camera. Maybe they're hiking, maybe they're laughing with friends. The highlight hunter doesn't just notice it, they mentally bookmark it. That could be me someday, they tell themselves. On the surface, it's motivational, but underneath it's a subtle comparison. The brain naturally contrasts what we see online, curated, filtered, and sometimes staged, with our messy, complicated reality. And here's the twist. Even when the intention is inspiration, the emotional response is still a form of measurement. You might leave the scroll feeling inspired, yes, but also a little smaller, a little behind. Another profile is the social ghost. This is the person who doesn't post much, maybe barely engages, but spends hours observing. For them, comparison isn't loud. It's contemplative. They notice patterns, or the kind of work people do, the friends they keep, the photos they like. And here's what's fascinating. Social ghosts often compare because it gives them a sense of control. They're mapping the social world without stepping fully into it. It's like watching a play from the balcony. You see everything, yet you're not part of the chaos. Scrolling late at night, noticing trends, quietly noting how your life stacks up, and maybe, just maybe, feeling a pang of longing. But let's not forget the shadow competitor. This one is a bit more intense. Shadow competitors don't just observe, they measure, strategize, and silently compete. They see someone's achievements online and feel that electric mix of admiration and challenge. Okay, they ran a half marathon. I can do that too. Shadow competitors often convert comparison into action, but it can be a double-edged sword. When the energy is positive, it drives growth. When it's negative, it quietly eats at self-esteem. And here's the kicker. Shadow competitors might never admit it, not even to themselves. They think it's motivation, but under the surface, it's a constant psychological scoreboard. Finally, there's the existential scroller. This type shows up late at night, when everything else is quiet, and the mind starts to wander. They scroll past smiling faces and exotic trips and suddenly feel this odd cocktail of curiosity, wonder, and melancholy. Why them? Why not me? It's not envy exactly, it's existential. They're trying to locate themselves in the vast landscape of human life, using strangers' snapshots as signposts. For the existential scroller, comparison is more philosophical than competitive. It's a gentle, haunting reflection of self-awareness. Who am I in this noisy, hyper-curated world? So why do we do it? Why compare ourselves to strangers we'll never meet? Because human brains are wired for social calibration. We evaluate, we mirror, we measure. Online life accelerates this process, distilling thousands of subtle social cues into an endless scroll. And while it can feel corrosive at times, it's also natural, a reflection of curiosity, self-reflection, and yes, the quiet desire to understand our place in the world. Here's the thing. Noticing it is the first step. Recognizing that tiny pinch of comparison is not shameful, it's human. The question is, what do you do with it? Do you let it define your mood, or do you let it illuminate what matters to you?